Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or whatever time zone it is with you on the world. It is your Lord and Saviour. And on Saturday, the 22nd of July 2023, in the year of our Lord Telos, I became a professional games master. Or rather, if we be pedantic, a professional storyteller. Because on that day, in the evening, 7 PM UK time, BST or GMT +1, because apparently we need 2 of those, I was paid by a group of 5 lovely players to run a game of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. And I'm genuinely really happy about that. First of all, that people are willing to pay me the good pounds sterling to run Vampire for them, but also really happy that everyone had a nice time and that they enjoyed it. And I thought I would use this opportunity, whilst I try and work out the lighting and the positioning of the camera and whatnot, to waffle a little bit about for you, because I'm genuinely really happy with how it went. As I said a moment ago, it was made up of mostly people who hadn't played before. Like some people had played like 1 or 2 sessions. One person, this was like their first game of Vampire. And there's one person who played a bit more, but yeah, it was generally a newbie experience. And it went absolutely fantastic. It's like, most of the players got to the end. There was 5 of them. 2 of them died right at the beginning, which was quite unfortunate, because one of them just kept getting fails and got blown up in the toilet. Well, shot down, mowed down. And so did the other player. Only they had it worse, because they got 3 bestial failures in a row, like 2 or 3 bestial failures in a row. It's like ridiculous. I have never seen that happen before. Furthermore, that character was an Alcavian, and I wasn't quite too sure what to do with that scenario. Other than they were like scared of water, I tried helping them out the best that I could. I did the 3 turns and out thing at the beginning. They were in a club. The SI just came and were mowing everyone down mercilessly. And they thought, oh, let's climb out the window in the toilet, that's going to be a good idea. Well, I did warn them though. But anyway, they enjoyed themselves, and they thought the deaths were insignificant, and which is good, because I know that sometimes people can get a bit miffed when that sort of thing happens. So I made sure everyone was all happy and hunky-dory. But no, they were fine. They thought it was a fantastic way to die, all things considered. And those that got to the end, they really found the antagonist, for lack of a better word, a Nagaraja / Hakata by the name of Marietta. I should probably mention I ran the scenario that I wrote, Ghost in the Sashi, which you can purchase by going down to the link below, as well as the other V5 books that I used to run this, including my own other homebrew, the Aurtakis Storyteller, which allowed some character creation shenanigans. But yeah, they really they didn't like Marietta. They liked her and they didn't like her, Liked her because it was a well-written character, which I feel especially proud about. But also, the newer players weren't quite making the connection straight away that not all vampires are really tied to their humanity. She wasn't. She kept referring to this ghost / ghoul of theirs as it, as a tool that was to be used, and that really, really wound up one of the players, and one of the characters as well. As it should. This particular character had humanity 8, so there's a huge gulf between the 2 of them. And I caught on to this disconnect before they did, of course, but when I did, I hammed it up a bit more, and they found it really unpleasant. Appropriately and consensually so, because I didn't want to make them feel too uncomfortable, where it's going to cause trauma and whatnot, because I don't ever want to intentionally cause trauma for anybody, because trauma is basically horrible without consent, and I don't want that. Not one bit. But I'm honestly just a bit speechless in the sense that, all this twirling around, I'm having to sort the dog lead out a bit more, the positioning of the sun and whatnot, so there isn't so much glare on the camera. But I'm honestly just a bit flabbergasted that people are willing to pay me to run Vampire for them, or run any game really. Because when I realised fairly recently that this was something that people did for a living, I was like many of you, why would I want to do that? These are meant to be fun, casual things. Why would I want to finance off of this sort of thing? Make a career out of it sort of thing, you know? And I don't know if I want to make that jump just yet. But when I've run actual plays before, people who have watched them have always thought it was really good. Some of those people who I've run those games for said that I should consider doing this professionally. And some of you lot have actually said that you would pay up to £50 to play in a game with me, which I feel is especially generous. And I thought, fuck it. Why not? If people are willing to do this, then why not? And furthermore, you have so many players out there that struggle to get in a game online or whatever, you know, or time zones or whatever. Like these general strangers on the internet, you don't know who they're going to be like or whatever. And I feel that creating an environment where, hey, I'm going to run this game, you pay me and you're going to get this time, this is the experience that you're going to get, it creates a bit more security, I feel. Not always, of course, but that's just kind of where I'm standing with this. So they paid for the session 0 and they paid for the one-shot proper itself, and I know that some people are going to be annoyed that you made them pay for session 0. Yeah, I did. And it's not just because of, you know, they're taking up my time or they're using my time or however you want to word it. It's a lot more than that, because as a storyteller games master, you don't just like turn up and like you go through what's happening, you aid with character creation, you answer questions. We filled out the consent sheets in that session as well, so we talked about that as well, our lines and veils and all those safety measures. So really, in a sense, I'm being like a mini counsellor to everyone there. You know, just making sure that everybody feels safe and hunky-dory, because yeah, sure, it's a one-shot, but there are some things there that could have upset people. Marietta could have upset somebody. The fact that there are ghosts in there could have upset somebody. There are also zombies in there, or whatever you want to call them, or homuncular servants, or aggressive corpses if we use the cults of the blood gods. Word, that's it, that's the word. The word I'm looking for is word. But yeah, that could have bothered people. I've never been a particularly huge zombie fan, and depending on the details, I'm just going to like nope the fuck out. But you know, there's many different things. Oh, and the fact that, like, in the second scene, everybody gets mowed down, that could have been really traumatic for some people, especially if most of the players are American and they've gone through a school shooting or something. Just for example. But yeah, I'm really happy how it went. I'm really glad that people want to do more, those players want to do more. And I know that some of you were like, couldn't do it because of time zones or schedulings or whatever. But I do hope to do some more in the future. Maybe with more confidence I can actually get around to doing the Chronicle, because I haven't done a full campaign / Chronicle yet. Only one-shots. I did start doing one, which you might remember, under the guise of Sea Shanty by Night, which, due to some very problematic things I'm not prepared to talk about, I had to cancel that. But, you know, that was a good teaching lesson for many different aspects of online storytelling and game mastering, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm just really excited to do more. I will leave a link in the description below, as well as all various different books and things you can purchase. My StartPlaying profile, so you can hire me if you and your buddies want to hire me or run me something and I haven't planned something. You can book me there, and that is like, I believe it's $40 per head. Again, that sounds like a lot, but you know what, you're taking up a huge portion of my time to do all of this, and I believe that's the value that I am worth. When I run games, I do things a bit cheaper. Maybe I might do a bit more if I feel a bit more confident with them, and I'm just generally just as good as people say I am across the board. But I know that some people want me to run Vampire for them, and other World of Darkness things too, because that's the other thing. I have so many games in my library, mainly World of Darkness, of course, and some Chronicles of Darkness, and some other non-World of Darkness horror things, and I just never get the chance to play them unless I do them solo. Privately, because I want to do more with a Playing with Thyself podcast, but there's been some scheduling things and just general life has been difficult. So who knows, maybe if I have an idea for those things, I can book those down, and I thought, oh, I really want to play Morkborg, for example. And I come up with a scenario. You know, I want to do things, you know. And organising actual plays is tough. and it's frustrating sometimes. I enjoy doing them, but they're always very limited. And I also feel that, I should give back to the community a bit more. Some of you want to play games with me? That's fantastic. Book me, hire me, and when I put ads to these games, come along and play. Pay and play, I guess you can call this. But I hope this has been somewhat interesting. I don't really have much planned for this. It's just ranting and waffling and juggling with phones and dog leads. Yeah, I had a nice time. I'm very glad that the players had a nice time too. Thank you very much. If you're watching this, you're awesome. And hopefully in the future we can do more games together, and anyone else who watches this in the future. So yeah, check out the links below to hire me as a GM if that's something that appeals to you. Also check out the link to the various V5 books that I used to assemble this, as well as my homebrews, the Aurtakis Storyteller, and the Ghost in the Sashi scenario. So if the little ramblings of what I've just said sounds interesting to you, you can run this with your friends as well by going to the Storyteller's Vault, or using the link in the description below. You can also check out my latest homebrew, the Fledgling Handouts, where if you're super brand new to V5, or you're an experienced ST but you don't want to give your players a lore crash about what the different clans are like and the sects and whatnot, how the disciplines work and the basics of dice rolling, or rather what the V5 dice mean, you can go and do that. It's pay what you want, so you can download it for free, or you can give me a bit of money for them so I can buy more books to review and do awesome World of Darkness content for. But more importantly, I want everybody to have fun, so. Oh, and as we're talking about homebrew, I might as well just finish off by saying you've got the Kindred Wheelchair as well, which introduces disability-friendly content to the World of Darkness, and I am the first person to have done this. And yeah, various different books and things for you to look out, various different ways to buy my stuff, official stuff, and a pigeon. Not what I was going to say, but various different ways to support the Law by Night brand and your players and yourself as game masters. And I'm kind of running out of things to say here, so until next time, farewell.